Have you figured out what your personal red flags are yet? Your personal red flags are going to show up in your outer surroundings as the conflicts that are in your relationships, whether that's within a romantic relationship, a family dynamic, or a workplace environment. The red flags that are in your soul, you'll see in people outwards first. And keep in mind, everything that's within us is also in other people, and what's in them is in also us. Like, we're all one, we're all connected, and whatever's in our experience out here is because that's what we're vibrating at, that's what we're creating, that's what we're projecting. And so for me, let's take the red flag of reactivity. I grew up in a household where there was a lot of negative reactivity to everything. Even a non-negative situation would have negative reactivity. And then that transferred over into my romantic relationships as I became an adult. And then I became an aware adult and decided I didn't want to I didn't want to subscribe to that anymore. I didn't want to be around those people. So I withdrew from those people. I made better choices. I leveled up my vibration. I found better crowds. And then when I dated someone who wasn't reactive, I became the reactive person. And that's where the real healing started. Through the experience of me becoming reactive, I could see it happening because I am an aware a person. I am an aware person, and majority of my actions, this is a little secret, is not usually based on my wants, needs, likes, or dislikes. It's usually based on either me running an experiment in my own little world of Debb, or it's my plan doesn't actually matter and I'm just following the truth of God's plan. Like, those are the two things that rule my life. There are many times I've walked into situations that I knew were going to be bad, and I just wanted to be like, well, I'm a pretty protected person, and maybe it's not as bad as you think it is, but like, I just want to try it because I can, and I want to see what really happens. I don't want to listen to your perspective of how things are. I want to learn about it for myself. And so reactivity was a thing. Take a lot of narcissistic personality traits. That has also came up in my own thing. So it's like a lot of the things that I was fighting externally, once I cut that off and leveled up, then it still manifested internally, because internally is where it's at, and that's where you do the work. Learning is never anything in existence is not linear. Everything is rotating and spiraling. The spiral theory is something that I have just known my entire life. And growing up, they told us planets are in a line, or, we're in like a record disc. And in my mind, looking at the sky, I was like, no, we're in a spiral. We are in a spiral. And sure enough, a couple decades later, it is now accepted as universal truth that we are spiraling through the universe. And mostly I just say that because I can give you literally dozens of examples where I have told people things that I know because I am connected to source. I am connected to the wholeness of all of consciousness, and you can be too. I share things with people very openly, and people think I'm crazy. I have had my own family disown me because they think I'm satanic. You be the judge for yourself. But I have been told many times that I am crazy on so many things, and I don't let it faze me because I know what I know, and I know that they don't know what they don't know. Like, they haven't, aside from me just knowing things, I enjoy finding the evidence here on earth to back up the things that I know. I am a scientist at heart. I love research. I spend so much time researching. I spend so much time learning things to learn because, I didn't go to college. I don't have a solid career. And so, like, learning the human experience, that has been my career. And that's why I'm so good with this. I'm not sure how many of my videos you have watched if you're new or if you've watched a few. I don't edit my videos. In the beginning, when I started doing videos, I would try and edit them, and I gave up on that. Be it's not the authenticity, and I don't need to have things tailored because I know that the information coming through is coming through from source, and it's coming through from my wisdom and my experience and my truth that I know nobody can call bullshit on, because nobody has lived the life I live. Nobody knows what I know. So nobody can call bullshit on me. And nobody has tried to call bullshit on me except for the people that have no interest in leveling up. And they don't really call bullshit. They just say I'm crazy and go the other direction and live their mundane lives. On the subjects I've been called crazy on, I would say how I said I could give you dozens. For every one that we name, there's been probably two that have since been recognized as truth, as fact, as not crazy. It's amazing. Like, if you're here to be progressive in this world, then you are on my channel to be progressive in this world. You're not here to live a mundane life. You're here to do the work on your red flags. You're here to do the learning. And so, as our learning is a spiral, it's not linear. It's not, oh, I've learned this and I'm going to move on. And as long as I don't look back, I'm not going to align with that vibration. Like if these are different vibrations, but the vibrations are actually going everywhere, right? And so, as we're spiraling, this is still the line right here. So, as we're spiraling, like as I'm on this side of the line, I'm away from that vibration. So I'm no longer experiencing those dark traits, right? But as I come around, I'm going to experience them here. And then as you go up and up, it's like down here is a different level. Like in my 20s, I did a lot of partying and drinking, and I left that life. And I was like, oh, really nice life, sober life. And then as I climbed the ladder, oh, but I'm coming back around here. And then boom, it's a grid system. I ran back into the problems. I got back into partying. Only this time it wasn't drinking. Only this time it was different things that were the shadows that were pulling me in. So our path is linear, and we are going to repeat the program. They are programming. It's programming that's deeply rooted within us. And we're going to revisit those things until we realize how internal it is, and how how precious our choice to choose differently is. Reactivity, I have had a lot of big, shocking moments happen lately. And I haven't lost my cool. I haven't reacted. I've been extremely neutral. And that neutrality is what's going to help me level up. And the neutrality, I mean, I'm hitting back the same lessons, but because I've realized that the feedback out here is coming, well, yeah, it's not out there. It's not those people out there. It is what you're projecting out. So you got to do the work on the inside. And that work ultimately comes down to your choice. I am very proud of myself for all the work that I've done. And if you're watching this video, you should be proud of you too, because you're not going to be watching these videos and understanding the set of vibration that it is at unless you're on the path of enlightenment, of awakening, of understanding what consciousness is, of losing the habit of being your human self. Awareness and consciousness isn't happening in the brain. We aren't observing things coming into our eyes. Have you observed beauty of the earth, of nature? And it feels very big and overwhelming inside, right? Like you're just overwhelmed with amazingness. And it fills your heart so big. But like, if that's happening, your eyes are only this big. How is that expansive, huge feeling actually happening in your eyeball that's this big or your brain that's here. Like, it's not. When we are experiencing the wholeness, the totality that is the bubble that we see as we look outwards. Earth is our own personal bubble. I know it sounds crazy. We're not a spinning ball in space. I'm sorry, guys, but we're not a spinning ball in space. We're light waves being projected back to us. While I'm on record talking about crazy things, let this be on record. As we learn the light bodies that we are more and the light that is the projection of reality, light and sound are going to be the new advanced sciences of the future. The more they dive into that, that's where the answers are. That's where the change is. And the change is happening. I say the change is happening because I see it in the generation I gave birth to. We're breaking generational curses. We have 7 generations prior of curses and programming that we have to undo. And you have to think 7 generations forward. You can still have hope that those 7 generations forward are still evolving. And now I'm watching the generation I gave birth to. They're beginning to have babies. And so now we're on the second, like the generations are coming. The generations are going to change things. We got to be here to help give them faith, help let them know they're not crazy, give them the space to be crazy because everything that I say, yes, it's from my experience and my wisdom and my ability to discern and have these experiences. However, my brain is only a receiver from the information that everyone has access to. Everyone has access to the information that is all knowledge. Our brains are only receivers. Our bodies are receivers. And so when we take care of our bodies and our receivers with clearer channel that we have, and the more we're able to intake, and the less programming that we have, and the less limiting beliefs that we have, the more information we're going to be able to be reprogrammed with. And so these newer generations, as old traditions are dying, as old paradigms are dying, as old silly discipline ways of being are dying, these new generations are rebirthing new ways of being, literally. So have faith. If you're here, you're probably one of the people that are here to help guide this new earth, this new journey. Our healing journey isn't linear, it's spiral, so be ready for it. You're going to encounter lessons you have already encountered and thought that were behind you for good. They are not behind you for good. Be ready. They're coming, and you're strong enough. Don't repeat the pattern. You are strong enough. My name's Deb. Again, I talk about the human experience, channel insight from all. We're here to awaken. We're here to help usher in the new earth. And you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't believe in it too. Like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithms. Let me know how you're feeling about this. I don't need you to tell me what direction to go from. God does it. This isn't the life I chose for myself. If it were up to me, I would be at a airport somewhere skydiving out of a plane. But God wants me here to do this, to give these messages. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that before, but I am here because God wants me here to do this. And I said yes. I surrendered because I hit rock bottom and I asked God for help. And this was a step He told me to take. I would love if I can help inspire others to have the same type of faith and trust that has guided my journey. Because I'm going off 2 hours of sleep right now. And even that wasn't sleep, it was more of a deep meditation. Completely sober. I've had one crazy night. everything out of my control, but yet it's my experience, so it's being projected somehow, and somehow it's related to my energy. Have a blessed day. I really hope some of this resonates because I know there's a lot of you out there feeling lost and alone and unsure. And I want you to know that there's literally hundreds of thousands of us out there that are awake and believe. We're not worried about World War III. We're not worried about climate change. We're focused on God and His plan. We're focused on our present moment and what we can do with what's in front of us right now, right here, in each and every step of the unfolding, while holding pure intentions filled with love from the heart in all of our movement, all of our decisions, listening to God with discernment, and believing. Again, my name's Deborah. Playing around with Deborah again. I've never gone by Deborah. Maybe it's time. Have a blessed day.